We're back at the CriblCon 2025 CriblCast News Desk. My name is Bradley Chambers, back with you. I have Joe Trier from Anvilogic. Big fan of your company. Obviously, we have a lot of joint customers. How does the Anvilogic and Cribl integrations help customers, manage their cost efficiency and their entire security operations?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Bradley. Appreciate you and the Cribl team for having us. I think it's really important to talk about this paradigm shift in the SIEM and security data lake space. Cribl being, the pipeline of choice for many organizations. People have chosen to democratize how they take data from different appliances, different applications, and put it into a data lake. The question then becomes, how do we run security operations at scale? And so being able to decouple those analytics from the underlying repository takes the work that you've done with a tool like Cribl and exponentially increases the value for security teams.
Obviously, we have a lot of joint customers. Do you have an example where routing and shaping the data with Cribl before it landed with Anvilogic, they really solved a critical use case for your customers?
Yeah, so it's a great question. I think what I'm seeing a lot of, I've got two customers in mind, Cribl customers. They did a SIEM migration. They really wanted to focus starting with endpoint data, so like Windows event logs and EDR data sources. Moving that data was a Herculean effort. But once they moved that data, they needed to quickly close security gaps and validate that they had detection coverage on top of that data. So they moved the data to a more cost-effective repository. They improved their underlying bottom line for the business, and then they deploy Anvilogic to validate that there's no gaps in their security and keeping things rolling as smoothly as possible.
The theme of the day was agentic telemetry, and I don't think any of us could have prepared 2 years ago what today looks like, and I don't know that I want to predict 2 years from now. How do you see this partnership between our two companies evolving with all of these new AI-driven workflows, solving these new challenges?
Yeah, I think, especially just being here today and yesterday, I've had a lot of conversations with really smart people who want to do more. And so being able to take this massive data volume and detection problem that we're seeing and using both Cribl and Anvilogic as a force multiplier through these agentic workflows, it's buzzword filled in the industry right now. But I think if we look at the aspect of data normalization and really meticulous use case creation on top of structured, clean, efficient data sources, thanks to Cribl, I think the sky's the limit, as corny as that sounds.
No,
I'm excited about it.
I love it. Next to last question, from a SOC engineer's point of view, what's the advantage of combining our two solutions together?
Yeah, so I think that was a question I had early on in joining Anvilogic, because I was more familiar with Cribl, and I was like, what's sort of the connection between the two? And I think succinctly, being able to pre-parse and normalize the data with Cribl makes the effectiveness of the detection that much greater. So if I can optimize the fields in my data before I run detections on top of that data, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier as a SOC analyst to get the signal from the noise, so to speak.
So last question. We're halfway through day one.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part about CriblCon so far?
All the goats. There's been a lot of funny interactions. They're honestly just seeing people, Bradley. I think that being out in the field and having conversations with people who really understand this need to do what we're doing, it's really validating, to have those conversations. There's a lot of folks I haven't seen in quite some time that are here at CriblCon that I'm really excited to reconnect with.
You look like you're reasonably near my age, and we're coming up on, it's been 20 plus years since the US version of The Office aired.
Yeah.
And the character Michael Scott, he was very, very funny. There's a lot of wisdom he would do. If you would watch the show, he would give these little nuggets, and you're like, actually he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He made this statement on the show. He said, a great manager doesn't fire people, he hires people, because people never go out of business. And that was one of those things that to me has always stuck with me, is like, you look at all the incredible technology just represented on the show floor here.
Yeah.
But the thing that never changes is people.
100%.
And software is such a people business. We sell it, people sell it, support it, use it, and I think we have to, as an industry, remember that, in terms of how we deal with our vendors, how we deal with our customers. Like, this is a people business. And so I love that, you all came. We thank you guys for coming to the event and showing up for our customers. And it's just been incredible. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking the time. We'll be back more later on from the CriblCon 25 show floor, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.